Hi everybody, Christy here with Soulful Line Self, and I wanted to share with you something that some of you who have been following me for a while have realized or noticed that uh, I have gotten back into human design. And one of the things that amazes me that even though I had a reading a couple years ago, actually by several people, and was all about learning about myself and how I worked in the world and really getting clear on my purpose and my path. I am now being reintroduced to it to where I am reconnecting with it and seeing where I show up, but also how I'm meant to be of service. How am I supposed to put my purpose out into the world? And it has me tuning back into my sacral. I am a manifesting generator. I am a 3-5 profile. If you know anything about human design or even remotely curious, you can go run your chart at Human Design America, I believe.com. Free chart. So if you want to post what you are below, that'd be great. But anyway, so this is the direction. This is what I'm teaching. What I love about human design is that it really gives you a framework to start really learning and understanding how you're wired to make decisions, how to do them in alignment to where you're recognizing what's truly yours versus letting go of the opportunities that really don't serve you, how to let go of the other things that don't serve you, all your personal baggage, all the things that you've been doing. Because if you are living out of alignment, which is right place at right time, correct? It's very divine timing, right? Choosing the right thing at the right time. Even though it's an exciting new opportunity, it might not be for right now. It might be actually for later. And that it's ooh, that's coming up on my radar. I need to pay attention because it's coming. This is just the sign. It's not the actual opportunity. So I've been working on getting connected to my to my sacral, which is the second chakra, which is the second chakra in the body. Sorry. And it is all about creativity, connection, your ability to co-create with spirit. It is your sexuality. It's how you see yourself. It is very much about taking care of and listening to your body. So reconnecting with that, I found that I was really disconnected from that. And one thing about the sacral is that it's the most, for generators and manifesting generators, it is the most powerful motor in your body. It is the most powerful motor on the planet. So let me say that again, because manifesting generators and generators are doers. We get it done. Okay. But it only comes out awesome and incredible when we follow our strategy, which is to respond, but we have to wait to respond to the right thing. And we have to know what that is. And then our authority, which is sacral, which is in the moment. You know right now that this is right for you. Versus emotional authority, which is the wave of feeling. It either feels really good, and it might feel really exciting and powerful right now, but then it's almost like buyer's remorse, right? Something's really exciting and powerful. You buy that brand new car because it was just so beautiful, and it just made you feel so excited. And then you sleep on it, and you wake up the next morning going, oh my gosh, what in the hell did I do? This was not what I was supposed to be doing right now. Buying a car was not a good idea. So it's riding that emotional wave. Okay. So the sacral, though, the sacral motor is very powerful. And so I've been practicing asking that sacral to bring certain things to me like you would manifest. Like you would manifest. Manifestation is actually processing from your heart all the way through your will center, actually, up to your throat and then up to higher space. Anja and head. So in human design. So it usually comes from your heart. Your heart is your what they call the monopole, which is attracting things to you. Never repels, just attracts. So pay attention to what you're attracting. You might be repelling things by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But whatever you set your heart to is what you end up bringing in, good or bad. Universe always says yes. So I've been focusing, though, on clearing out, balancing, and connecting to my sacral. And in doing that, I have seen firsthand how this plays out, how long it takes for big things to come in, which is about 8 to 10 days for me. So I've been doing a little experiment. I'm a 3-5. Experimenting is so fun. And then I teach what I learn. So this is me teaching what I learned. So in this experiment, okay, I asked for my sacral to bring back my cat, my beloved. She is just like, she only responds to me. She only comes to me. I can hear her talk. We are very connected on several levels, and she is just my kitty. I lost her one Thursday morning. She went out with her brother to go hang out in the backyard, and I came out 30 minutes later after doing yoga, and she's gone. We called for her. We've harassed neighbors looking under decks. We've put post-it notes and posters on all of the stop signs and in all of the mailboxes for like 3 blocks. Nothing. And so I started asking my sacral that if it's meant for her to come back to me, that she comes back to me. And the next day, or later on that day, that was like 3 days after she had left, is when I felt like, okay, so I've done physically all I can. Now I need to go inside for answers. And that's when I asked my sacral to bring her back to me if it's meant. And we got a phone call from a neighbor who lives quite a bit of the ways, like a couple blocks away, saying they think they saw her. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's exciting. And so we went over there, and it wasn't her. It was actually a bobcat, which I don't recommend trying to feed or catch. And so that was definitely a no. And I'm like, oh, okay, but at least it's a sign that, Spirit's trying to bring her to me. And then the next day, we had one of the vets down the street say, hey, we think we have your cat. You want to come look? I'm like, yes. I dropped everything and ran down there. And it's not her. Very sweet kitty, though, and ended up going home with the guy who found her. So everybody ended up in a happy place. So, but it wasn't her. And I was like so disappointed. And so then we had Mother's Day weekend, and I actually left the house and went to my mother-in-law's, who's been in quarantine this whole time. And so we went to her house for Mother's Day and hung out with my family there. And the whole time I'm thinking I should be home because someone's going to call and I'm not going to be there to go get her. And so I got to the point where I was like, you know what? She will show up when she's meant to show up, and I've got to let go of that. And so when we get home Sunday night, we order dinner because it's Mother's Day, and I honestly don't want to cook again. And so even though I love to cook, oh my gosh, it's been constant. We get a text, actually. A text from someone, a California phone number, and we're in Austin. So a California phone number, and we're like, it's a little shady, saying, I have your cat. That's all it says. I'm like, okay. Can you tell us something about her or her caller, or how did you get this number? Because we didn't post our numbers anywhere except on the flyers in the neighborhood. And we heard back. She goes, oh, well, it's on her collar. It's on the back of her tags. I actually got to pet her. And I was like, really? Because our cat, she's not friendly unless she's not feeling well. And so, which is ironic. So she ends up saying, I've got her, takes a picture of her. Sure enough, it is her. And then we find out that they are 15 miles away from us. She had to cross 2 major highways to get to this location. How did she do that? We do not know. And the lady who found her doesn't have an affinity for cats. Actually, is a dog person. She rescues pit bulls. So she rescues pit bulls and doesn't really like cats. Had an issue when she was growing up. Doesn't want anything to do with them. And yet our cat ends up in her backyard. And one of the dogs, feral dogs that she feeds, kept taking her to the cat, saying, hey, somebody's here who's not supposed to be here. Anyway, so she calls us. My girlfriend and I go running over there. We didn't even bother with dinner. Ran straight over there and coaxed her out with treats and stuff. I started talking to her. She starts rubbing on the wood and stuff like, oh, there you are. I'm so glad you decided to show up. Anyway, so she walks out. We feed her treats. She eats all of her treats, like inhales them, because I'm sure she's starving after 10 days. I picked her up. I put her in the carrier, gave her some treats, locked it, and thanked the lady who didn't want any kind of payment or anything. She was like, I'm just so happy we found her where she was supposed to be. And I'm thinking, so how did she get here? She had to have ridden here. She had to have hijacked somehow. And we just don't know. So anyway, I'm leaving that up to Spirit. I'm just glad we got her back. And I sent a nice thank you note and a gift card to the lady who found her, because, you know, that was a lot for her to actually not have an affinity for cats and yet find my cat in her backyard, and to call us, to make the effort to call us. And so I just thought it was interesting, though, sitting, I mean, it's quite the Mother's Day, amazing Mother's Day, right? To get my kitty home. And now I can stop worrying and being so stressed out and emotionally just raw. And so looking back on my journal the next morning, this is Monday morning after Mother's Day, I was just amazed at how within 10 days, really more like 7, she showed up. And it's exactly what I asked Sacral for. And I didn't give it a lot of details. I didn't say any limitations. I said I just wanted her home healthy. I just wanted her home healthy if it's meant. You know, qualify that, because, you know, not everything's meant. But I really just wanted to know what happened to her, because we hadn't heard anything from anybody that was actually about her. So my lesson here is that sacral is a powerful motor, and you asking it for what you want, what you wholeheartedly want, in a very straightforward manner, you know, and having a really positive energy about it, not a doom and gloom, I don't really want to die tomorrow. Find your heart-centered space and ask from there, but envision that orange ball of light pulsing on and off, because that's what it does. It feeds your energy to do the things you love. And so we'll be having a challenge soon around that sacral energy, connecting to it, clearing it out, balancing it, and then using it, connecting with it, asking it to bring you what it is you want, and let's see how fast that happens. So stay tuned in for the challenge that's coming up. But I'd love to hear your stories about how you asked for what you wanted. And it might not have been to your sacral. I totally get it. But ask for what you wanted. And then it came, and how long it took to come. Because the more in tune you are to that sacral, the more balanced and connected and grounded you are in that sacral, the faster things will come. The bigger things always take longer, right? Just because there's a lot of other things that have to be put into place in order for that to be smooth. So what is it that you really want to ask your sacral for? What would you like to bring it to bring to you, sorry. Because that's a big deal. And then I'd be interested to see how it comes, how long it takes. Because it'll come. Just got to pay attention. So, any questions, post them below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.